Nancy, let's talk about rhetoric. Does John McCain stand by, it's a simple yes or no, does John McCain stand by the president's remarks yesterday when the president said that talking to our enemies in the Middle East is the same as appeasing Hitler?
Senator McCain responded directly himself and said he took the president at his words, that those comments were not directed towards Senator Obama. And, you know, I have to take issue a little bit, David, with, you know, I've been watching this segment or listening to this segment for the last 10 or 15 minutes, and I've heard you reference 3 times something that's completely untrue and misleading to your viewers, and that's a so-called reference to Senator McCain saying that he would speak to Hamas. And that is absolutely not the case. It's Jamie
we're going to get to that in a
Rubin's,
sec. We're going to get to that in a sec. But Nancy, does the McCain campaign believe that talking to our enemies is the same as appeasing them?
We've never used the term appeasement, and you know that.
But the president did. But the president did, in an argument that historians said was intellectually dishonest, when the president said that talking to our enemies is the same as what Chamberlain did with Nazi Germany by giving them Czechoslovakia. You know that's not accurate. Senator McCain knows that's not accurate.
Senator McCain is responsible for what he says, not responsible for what President Bush says. And we specifically have not used the term appeasement. However, it is absolutely legitimate to discuss the fact that Barack Obama has said unconditionally that he is willing to sit down and talk to leaders of rogue nations without setting the conditions that would be, you know, tantamount to showing that real progress could be made. Whereas Senator McCain has said point blank that there are certain conditions that would have to be in place. And Senator Obama's judgment is, I think, at issue here. It's legitimate. It's what should be debated between now and November, because I think he has shown himself to be lacking in good judgment in foreign policy.
Why shouldn't we take it as a flip-flop when Senator McCain was asked 2 years ago by Jamie Rubin about Hamas being in charge of the Palestinian government, and Senator McCain implicitly saying, yes, at some point we're going to have some dialogue with them? How is that now not a flip-flop from what he's saying now?
David, what he said is that we would have to deal with Hamas, and that's what I take serious issue with the treatment in this segment just today, where you keep saying he said he would talk to them. He did not. He said he would deal with.
What's the difference between dealing and talking with them?
Well, dealing can be okay, David. Dealing can be anything from bombing to a bed of roses. And the way we deal with Hamas right now is we isolate them diplomatically. We try to slow down and stop their financial and military. So John McCain was saying we should go ahead and bomb the Palestinian government when he said that we will have to deal with them in the context of a question of them being in charge of the Palestinian territories. David, this is a ridiculous way to have this conversation. There is no, what I'm saying is that dealing with is very different from saying you're going to sit down and talk to them. We are dealing with them right now through diplomatic isolation, through trying to stop efforts or slow down the efforts that are primarily driven by Iran to provide Hamas with financial and military support, and we are energetically supporting Israel's right to defend themselves. That is one way that you could deal with Hamas. It's in fact the way that we're dealing with them right now. And it doesn't involve sitting down with terrorist organizations or state sponsors of terrorists.